Louise and I have been hanging out for about 13 years. We've accomplished a hell of a lot in that short period of time. There's been plenty of blood, sweat and tears. The blood is mainly mine and the tears mainly Lou. But the sweat is a combination of us both as we progress through life, always biting off more than we can chew. I said about 13 years because we don't really have a date. The Kosh's engagement party, I said to Hamo, who's the bird in the red spotted dress? It's her I want to mate. Where's Bernie? Where's Jeremy Byrne? Bernie slipped me her deets, and I started the process to court. The courtship was actually pretty easy. There's tougher battles I fought. But in this instance of early romance, it wasn't all about the fight, but about the seamless integration when mutual steps, walking in the same direction, feel so right. It was only early days, but things were starting to move pretty fast. Such a solid cruise standing here proves that great things often last. A few friends tried to warn her, Lou, we don't want you to end up feeling sad. Be careful, for what we've observed, that boy is a little mad. So when I crafted this famous chorus line, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. She called. So we saw each other often, always finding a reason, which came pretty easy back in the day, for it was smack in the middle of Christmas party season. I was off overseas, and it would be interesting if weeks apart would pass, if time apart would be a deal breaker, or a sign that things would last. I arrived back from a European ski trip with a badly broken jaw. It was only fitting that Lou came to my parents' house to help me hold my straw. Within a few months of meeting, under the one roof together, we were now living. Sorry, Les, I think your eldest daughter was definitely sinning. For those six odd years before marriage and kids, with no one else to worry except me and her, partying, working, partying, studying, partying, it's all a bit of a blur. Everyone loves the party. Is that right, Amanda?
We all love the party.
Holidays to Thailand, the States, Canada, Mexico, Hawaii, epitomising young and free. Fun times are easily had when it's just you and me. Those late 20s, early 30s was a really, really fun age. At the time you wish they'd go on forever and you wouldn't have to turn the maturity page. But as the hair begins to grey and your fat bellies begin to protrude, it gets to that time where you need to consider rolling out the new brood. We tried our best to have kids out of wedlock, but my nan must have informed the Pope. The Pope passed a message to the man upstairs and he said, until you're married, that's a freaking no. The despair consumed Lou. It went on for several troubling years. My own thoughts were dominated by how do those tiny eyeballs produce so many freaking tears? As my buddies around me had started nailing themselves to the floor, was walking the line and getting married what I had in store? As Johnny Cadd had once said himself, I keep my hands wide open in the pines of the tide because you're mine. I walk the line. I couldn't remember the chorus there. So I decided to go down this path and walk the line. On my own terms, in our favourite place, deciding it was time, a mountain in Telluride with a poem like this, I asked Lou to officially be mine. At the top of two runs called Plunge and See Forever, With skis on, I did not take a knee. But with a few words in the local paper, I requested, Lou, will you spend your life with me? I made sure that it was cold and at altitude when I asked Lou to be my wife. I was convinced the thin air and cold temperature would help me nail her down for life. I was actually pretty confident that the answer I'll get would be a yes. She was no different to any other girl, wanting to grow up and wear a veil and a pretty white dress. They all say they don't, but they all do. So desperately, they love it. In Telluride, Colorado's mighty fine southwest, we found a second home to which we both become totally obsessed. How could this place be not so well received? An engagement, Noah's first and third birthday, and for Evie, well, that's where she was conceived. I planned all that pretty well, the future I did see. If you have to orchestrate these events, if all you want to do is ski. Our best memories in Telluride and all over the world are still ultimately untold, because age will never tarnish our spirit of adventure, especially as we get old. We got married and put on one hell of a show. You don't need the fun details for you all to go. Except you, Homer. T, who else didn't go? Off to Japan, Italy, Greece, Shanghai. Simply living the dream. The last hurrah, because if things go our way, there'll be kids on the scene. So I've returned home and back to the grind, doing everything in our power for kids to be our time. Nan called the Pope to pass on a note detailing they finally did get married. So they tell the powers that be, hurry for the fuck up, for they need a baby to carry. It's actually what she said, that's why I take it to church every Sunday. They're challenging times when you do all you're told and it's simply a child you wish. Lucky for us, science trumps God, and Noah was conceived in a petri dish. I don't think there is anything that fulfills you with so much joy than to have you first arrive in this world, and for us, a baby boy. Lou's uterus, fallopian tubes and ovaries must have kicked into gear, because it took zero effort and she was pregnant the very next bloody year. With all the baby organs now primed and prepped to go, we made up for lost time and we quickly punched out 2 tin lids in a row. Still can't see this. Noah's a little more conservative, emotional and smart like his mum. They're only early days yet, but signs of what is yet to come. Evie? Well, we love our beautiful second child. She's a bit like me, but only 3, already showing traits of being crazy and wild. With 2 little rat bags on the ground, a perfect family of 4. So happy, in fact, that when Evie came out, we both agreed, no more. We're in a rush to graduate, to skis and boards, and for Noah a bike, jet setting on boats and planes, out and about, doing the things that we like. In regards to the direction we would take with our work careers, the vision was clear. We'd set up a business with a trajectory pointing north year after year. We have complementary skills and we work well together. A testament to our relationship, because many couples that mix marriage and work, relationships tether. But it was at this time, where everything seemed right and our family, business and future looked so bright, that cancer picked an unprovoked fight and shattered the bright coloured days with dark night. All of Lou's closest friends, I know you've shared the pain felt. There isn't an explanation or definitive reason. It's simply they're the cards that we've been dealt. Life is challenging for everyone, no matter what your circumstance. But you're much better defeating the odds if together you take a stance. And when I say together, I mean everyone that's standing with Lou tonight. She's been a much stronger warrior and can brawl this disease when she's supported by you on this plight. At times over the last 10 months, it feels like all we've achieved has regressed. But it's friends and family and our 2 little kids that remind us that we are so very blessed. So whether it's flowers, a call, a message, a gift, a hug, another tasty dinner, every gesture, big or small, contributes to Lou being a winner. I'm actually convinced that half the people here, half the women here are like proper chefs. When all the meals turn up on a Friday, I was like, if Lou wasn't sick, I'd just be like, this is the dream. Amazing cooked meals every night, but anyway, but all the little things, it makes a massive difference. She's still on the journey, and unfortunately, she's shrouded by an uncertain cloud, but it's persistence, discipline, and focus that are the characteristics she's ultimately vowed. It's these traits that will take her through to remission. She made it her choice, clear from inception, her outlook and her vision. Chemotherapy, surgery, radiation, more chemo, Lou's fighting this illness with tenacity through and through. With a one-finger salute every day saying, hey cancer, you know what? Fuck you. And just a quick ad break. So remember, girls, and tell your friends to check those breasts and armpits too. Early diagnosis is crucial to ensuring your survival, even if the slightest thing feels abnormal to you. Haymo's doing screens in the poker room at 10. And they're free. Back to the program. That's for not coming to my wedding. Lou, as the years have passed, the toughest have been the last. But all these troubles are simply a bump in the road. Everyone's moved by the fight you're giving and the courageous character that you've shown. You're doing all that you can, you can't give any more. When you throw everything into it with a smile on your face, then the outcome will be shown in the score. Enough about cancer. For tonight it's a battle we've won. We've brought our dancing shoes, we're here to drink booze, banter, have a laugh, and some fun. Lou, whether you're running, walking, or reduced to a crawl, if need be, I'll carry you along. With me by your side and our friends here to support, we're incredibly stronger as one. Has everyone been drinking their drinks? Raise your glass to 40 years. It's time to say cheers. And here's your cheers to another 40 fun on the way. We love you all, the snowflakes of the Western San Juan, a mighty hip hip hooray. Louise DeCelis, from all of us here, many happy returns. Let's celebrate your birthday today. Yeah.